So this is going to be a sillier video than usual, where I'm just going to ask author Casey Norton here a bunch of random questions about writing, about life, just questions about whatever I want to
You have
ask.
all the power.
I do have all the power. That's how I like it. And so Casey Norton has to answer honestly, just part of the rules that I
What
just made
happens
up.
if I don't?
I don't know. I don't have like hot sauce or anything for you to, or like gross
Oh, gonna be
drinks.
like glass onion. You're gonna make me like roll in my nose or whatever. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
No more. Okay, I'll be honest.
Don't-
I don't. That sounded terrible.
Oh
so.
my god! Don't spoil a glass onion for people. But yeah, so she is the author of all these books, which I like. I can't even pick all these up. There's too many. Like, look, I can only pick up this many in one hand. In that
and that's
book,
not even all. Yeah.
in another book, and also other books that are yet to be published. There are too many books. Maybe not. Is there such thing as
but
too
there will
many
be more.
books?
You
There
can't
will
stop
be
it.
more. You can't
No
stop
matter
it.
how hard you try.
It is unstoppable.
Yes.
And so we're so grateful to have you on our Story Garden team. It's just so wonderful. But are you ready to get into this?
This is super surreal because almost exactly 2 years ago, I was having a conversation with you and you were asking me questions and I was like super nervous about it because I wanted you to think I was normal, and now the mask is off.
The mask is off. I can't go back. We pay her to do this. This is what this is your job
You brought
now.
this on yourself.
So true. Okay, so my first question is very important. The world needs to know.
Okay.
Are goats actually aliens?
That's the only explanation.
That it really is. Have you seen their eyes? They're
So I'm not sure. So I have goats.
I know
which
you
I
have
know you have
goats.
goats. I'm not sure that you're aware that I am the reason that my old company has a "Can you bring your goat to work" policy. You're not familiar?
No.
So I had a goat that had kids during a cold snap, and I had to take them inside because they were in danger. And when I tried to give them back, she did not want them back anymore. She was like, she rejected them. So I had a baby goat that I had to bottle feed, and you got to bottle feed every 4 hours. And I worked 10-hour shifts at a lab. So I got in touch with one of the people at HR, the kind of like my HR level person, and was like, so we have a cat policy and we have a dog policy. People take their animals to the vet. What's our goat policy? And got kicked higher and higher up the ladder, and ultimately was allowed to bring my baby goat to work so that I could bottle feed her every 4 hours, and it made me the most popular girl in school.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. But then, so did that make you feel that goats probably weren't aliens in that case? Since they're too adorable.
Well, they're pretty adorable, but they're odd. They're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a little bit special,
Yeah.
probably because I was the influence on her growing up. So she's
So yes, she's an alien. Her mother is an alien, and
yes,
that is
yeah,
you.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
But yeah, so my next question is, what is the most words you've written in one day?
14,000.
That's a number. That's an impressive number. That's a brag-worthy number.
I mean, by the end of that, I was not a human being. I was an alien, but I was not. I had to just kind of be left in the corner. But yeah.
What was that for? For personal or for work?
I can't talk about it.
Oh, never mind.
I would tell you,
project.
but I have to kill you.
Okay, it was no. I was gonna make some sort of joke. I won't because the people think that's real. Okay. Okay. So what book have you owned the longest without reading it?
This is a really hard question for me to answer. I was just watching a TikTok with someone was like, I've had this book for like 6 months, and if I don't read it soon, I have to get rid of it. And I was like, I've had books since before I can remember.
Yes.
And they like move. I have books that have moved multiple books that have moved with me every time that I have moved apartments. Like they were in my childhood bedroom, and I might get to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably like the Silmarillion,
Wow.
Captain Jack Zodiac, a science fiction classic.
And then you're gonna read it now, and you're like, I should have read this like 20 years ago.
Well, I think in the case of that, there are a couple that we'd go to like the old used bookstore things. You pick up like the the old sci-fi, it's like nobody's read it because it was published in like 1940. And I'm gonna get to a point with some of those where I'm gonna be like, probably should have just kept not reading it, but
Yeah.
we'll get there.
No, you'll get there. I mean, I think that's a good one to do like a book roast on or something. Like that's great.
Or it could be life-changing, and I will have to eat my words.
Oh yes, you will, and you'll be like, I read it at the right point in my life. That's why I waited
Life-changing.
so long to do it. Okay, so what TikTok account do you unironically love that you perhaps shouldn't love?
Well, I feel like it would only be fair to name a couple that I should love, that I
Okay,
do
fair.
and should love. So I think
fair.
it's Levert the Baseman is one of my favorites. He breaks down a whole bunch of everything from comic books to Martin Luther King Jr. or whatever. He'll just like picks a topic. He's really smart, does a lot of research, and is really interesting. Sim Kern is another person who like makes you think, but in a fun way. But then there's this guy who's like, I think it's, I apologize, Smoked English Salmon, who takes pictures of animals and does the filter where you make big eyes and big mouths, and has the animals talk to each other about things like how they raise/eat their children, or their various habits that maybe are a little bit unconventional, and just little biological comedy.
Yeah,
but,
very good, very good.
That's the one where I'm like, a new one dropped, like drop everything.
This is solid content. I mean, really though. So you don't have follow any guilty pleasure accounts, is what I'm hearing.
Here's the thing: I couldn't find the name of the guy who he's a very buff dude, and he sometimes dresses up as a cow and says moo, and by like a sexy cow milkmaid. But I could not figure out what his name is.
Okay, that's fair. So you're not big enough of a fan, is what you're saying.
I mean, I would know him if I saw him in the street and he was wearing the cow outfit.
You would know him. But yes, but on that note, everyone should follow Kat on TikTok at Kat Norton Writer, and so because she's hilarious, also account that you can add that to your guilty pleasure.
Yeah, you can watch me review Claimed by the Orc Prince.
Yeah, oh my God,
5 out of 5 stars.
That's a real video. I didn't know you gave it 5 stars though. Okay.
Well, now everyone knows.
Now everyone knows.
No shame.
So
support indie authors.
Support indie authors. There you go. So what is the stupidest writing advice you ever heard?
Anytime people say something like, never do first person, never do prologues. I had someone tell me, I never will, if I see a book that has a prologue, I will not read that book. And I wrote my graduate thesis paper on why that's a stupid stance.
Yeah.
If you look at it like, anytime it's in first person, anytime there's like this one particular thing, it's like, all right, I didn't want you to read it anyway. Like, you're going to...
And I think anything goes. I think anything goes in fiction. There's, like, some best practices, but you don't got to follow that.
I mean, if there's a tool or a concept, a framework that exists, that it exists for a reason.
Yep.
And if you do it badly, I mean, don't do it badly. That's probably good advice. But as long as you're doing, as long as there's a reason, you're doing it for a reason, or you're doing it, you see how it adds something to it, then I think it's incredibly silly to just go, this whole concept, like prologues are the devil. I don't know. Probably can't say it.
But yeah, I mean, the writing toolbox is vast, and so we should just use everything at our disposal when we want. And it's great stuff.
Someone told me not to use interrobangs, but...
Oh, yeah, I know who it was. I know who it was. Angela, if you're watching this, I know you don't like us using a interrobang.
You can't stop me.
You can't
no one
stop
can
us.
Stop me.
Okay, no. But yes, okay. So, why did you choose breakfast foods as the subject of your latest erotica novel? And I assure the audience, this is a real
thing that will be available for consumption soon. I love puns. I do very much enjoy puns. Actually, weirdly enough, I have a serious answer for that, which is that one of the characters in that story is trans. Was actually, female to male trans, but also was born as dinner and then transitioned to breakfast.
I love this so much.
So it was a way to talk about some issues that I wanted to actually address, but in a way that made it made it fun and drew attention to kind of how ridiculous it is being like so obsessed with what other people are doing and trying to police other people. So part of the ongoing thing with that is everybody accepts without question that this character is trans, but really has a problem with the dinner to breakfast thing. So everyone else is like, oh yeah, that's normal, but like, how dare you try to be a meal that you're not, like masquerading as a piece of toast, right? Like,
oh my gosh.
So yeah, and it was fun, and yeah, so between that and just getting to use a lot of weird food euphemisms, I actually talked to one of my friends who's a food writer and got some books on culinary blogging, and then applied that for evil. So.
Oh my gosh, you really did. Well, because I have read scenes from this book, and I am disgusted by how well written it is. Like, it is so
that's the goal.
I'm like confused and like.
Yeah, that's the goal. 50% confused, 50% hungry. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That is it. Oh my gosh, tagline is right there. Oh, it's so great. So, what would be your stripper name?
Tawdry Hepburn.
Tawdry Hepburn. Okay,
yes.
That's quite good. I think I could go for that. Yeah. Audrey Hepburn. I like that. What is the meaning of life?
42.
42. Yes, that's the only right answer to that question.
Yeah.
That's
I
fair.
mean, and if you understand that, call me because I need help.
Exactly that. And so which Story Garden book was the easiest to write?
So there is a follow-up. It's Tale of the Country Doctor, which is essentially fan fiction of book 1, in which I the Tale of the Hidden Village, in which I get my the big sad main character gets to, have a cute, cozy summer romance with his love interest, and it was nobody asked for it, but it exists.
Well, what's going to happen with it? Where's it going to go?
It's going to be. I don't know when this is happening, so it's either already out in the world or it's coming to an Amazon near you shortly.
Okay, no, that's great to hear. I love that. Now, what do you collect?
Tea and teaware. I'm obsessed with tea.
Oh, interesting.
And not like herbal tea. I'm sorry, tisanes are a whole other thing. Like pure leaf tea.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very specific. I was just at a tea place, so it's.
I have. We calculated how much tea I have. I drink it regularly, but how much tea do I have in my house? And even if I drank 2 different varieties of tea, 2 servings of tea every day for the next 3 years, I would still have tea. So,
What's your favorite tea then? What's
Diane,
your favorite tea? Choose
Diane,
your top 3
Dragonwell.
teas.
Okay, fine, Dragonwell. If you got to, Dragonwell Green. Fine, if I have to pick one.
That's a lot of tea. That's so much tea. That's like no wonder you write so much because
I'm fueled by the lower caffeine. Coffee makes me insane, so that's only for when I'm writing my food erotica.
Dear, oh my goodness. Okay, what does the C stand for in Casey Norton?
Colby, like the cheese.
What? Does it really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. So. Okay, next question. What's a weird thing that inspires you to write?
I mean, we've already talked about the food thing, so that's.
I don't know. It's a little too much inspiration.
Yeah, I swear that's not a thing unless it awakens something in me, and I won't be reporting back if that's the case. But at one point, I'm gonna humble brag, I guess. I was one of the winners for the Writers of the Future anthology for volume 30, and so we had one of the exercises that we had to do as part of, they fly you out there for a week, and you do take a bunch of classes and network, and there's a lot. And one of the things they have you do is write a short story in 24 hours that is based on an object that you're given from a grab bag of just generic objects. You go to a library, you find a book, you open it to a random page, you read a sentence. Okay, that's your second piece of inspiration.
Wow.
And then you went into the streets of LA and talked to a person, and then you took those 3 things and you wrote a short story, which is why I have a story about a turnip woman who smokes cigarettes so that when she is ripe enough to be harvested, she will give her creator cancer. So is that a right?
Oh my gosh.
That short story one was in the Tangent recommended reading list the
Oh
year
my
it came
God.
out. So I feel like I get to.
I think you're.
It sounds insane, but there's a weird food theme.
You're
Oh,
in
God.
you have this like a food humanism kind of thing going on.
Well, you are
that's
what you eat.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're known for this now. Okay.
Oh, this is my whole personality. Oh my gosh, and my middle name is Colby.
Oh my god. Well, okay, if you were a food, what would you be?
If I was something that nobody wants to eat.
That's so sad. Are you anchovies?
Oh no.
No, not that bad. Are you kale? People do like kale, though.
What is it? See, if I was a food.
Yeah.
I'm.
I don't know. I'm obviously strawberry shortcake. That's what I am.
Oh.
So.
Okay, you're delicious. Cancel that. Move on.
Okay, but we have, if Story Garden had a mascot, what would it be? What would be our mascot? Oh my gosh, is that why you brought that? You specifically have...
Now I'm going to do a weird cross-arm thing.
Yeah.
Weird things that inspire me to write. Frog biology could also fall into that category.
That is, but then you don't understand, like, it is a crub.
Yeah.
Is the creature that's...
Oh, we're checking it out. Oh God.
So that would be our. I mean, that makes sense too because as part of the garden theme of Story
Yeah.
Garden, I
Well,
guess frogs are in gardens.
and we've also, there's now a frog thing in,
Oh,
I think
yes.
every series.
Yes,
that
and
we're
we
working on.
have that romantic frog crub art that was
Yes.
specially illustrated. That I don't know where that's going. Oh, by Hannah Elizabeth. Yes, our
Yes.
special Sexy
yeah.
Frogs by Hannah
Sexy
Elizabeth.
frogs. Yeah, she
Who
does
also
our,
did the amazing cover.
She does our covers,
for-
and I know we only
Yes.
have the first one out right now, but we've got the cover for the second one, and
Yes, I know. Like this art is just too. So I mean, just imagine this art style, but then with
but
the
sexy frogs.
frogs. Yes,
sexy
exactly.
frog men.
Yes, absolutely. Question mark. Yes, but okay. So there. Yes, our unofficial / official mascot
Yeah.
is those crubs. So that's very good. Okay, so the last question that everybody's been waiting for.
Okay.
But both Nathan, you and I have been waiting for. So it's who would win in a fight, you or Mark, aka Jordan Riley Swan?
So there are two levels to answer this on, right? Because there's like the psychological level, and in that case, I win, right? Because if it's like an argument about something, the number of times he's been like, "Don't you dare write that," and then I do, and he can't stop me, and then he loves it. He loves it. So I would say, routinely on that level. Now, if it's hand-to-hand combat, still me, because he's like lawful good, and I'm chaotic neutral. Like I'm a biter. Like I go full goblin mode. So
That's so true. I know. And then, okay, but what about katanas? If katanas were
Katanas.
involved,
I don't know. I bet that I could parkour better than he could. So
Yeah.
I think we could do like some kind of full on, they'll be flipping off the walls or something.
that's true.
Yeah, maybe.
And I think also Mark's very principled that he won't fight a woman, so you could just very easily stab him.
Yeah, he would
in
have
the back.
he'd have like honor and
Yeah,
stuff, and
he'd
I
have
wouldn't.
Exactly. So he would die a martyr, and then we'd all be sad, continue on our books without him. But yeah, so that was great. That's a great Q&A. This is so good. I learned so much about you,
yeah.
Kat, Colby, Norton. Yes, this is so good. But yeah, thank you all for joining us on this. If you have any questions for Kat, you can leave them in the comments section below. And yes, please buy all the books, every single one. That would be great. We'd love that. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Especially the sexy frog one.
Especially the sexy frog one. That's going to be an actual book. Who knows?
Oh
We
yeah.
don't know.
Oh, we know.
I don't know.
It'll be
We'll
there.
tell you when the Breakfast Erotica is coming out. What's the title of that one?
Transcontinental breakfast.
Yes. Okay, there we go. So if you see that, you'll know where it came from.
You know who to blame.
Yes, but not exactly why. Yes, it sounds great. So we'll see you next time at our Story Garden.